Okay, part 2 is when you have a side-side angle one. So when your triangle looks like this, once again, side-side angle, however, it's where the answer is 2 solutions versus in this case it was 1 solution because this one crossed off. So it goes back to right here in this little case. So it's kind of confusing. Definitely some practice with that one. So it says solve triangle ABC if angle A is 43.1 degrees, A is 186, B is this. So I filled in the triangle. That's part 1. I am going to use, I have to find angles, I have to find sides. So really it doesn't matter what format you use. But I'm going to start, because I have 2 sides, I'm going to find this angle right here, because I know the side. So I have sine of A, sine of B. Those are the 2 I'm using. When I plug in the information, sine A is 43.1, sine B is what I'm looking for. These are the 2 sides opposite them, 186.2, 248.6. When I cross multiply, I have sine of B times 186.2 equals 248.6 times the sine of 43.1 degrees. I'm going to divide by 186.2 here because I want on both sides because I want sine B by itself. So when I divide there, I get sine B by itself is equal to 248 times sine 43.1 all over 186.2. When I plug that whole mumbo jumbo into a calculator, I get approximately 0.9122, which is less than 1. So I go back to my chart here. If the sine is less than 1, I have to set up 2 triangles. So I'm going to set up my triangles, matching this exactly. So I have my 2 side lengths copied from here, my angle, and this. Now what it comes down to is, where do I get these 2 angles? So, excuse me. Where did I get those 2 angles? That's got to be a little confusing. I made them up off the top of my head. I screwed up here. I don't know where I got these angles. Oh yes, no. No, I have no idea. Oh, right here. Sorry. This is what illness does to you. Okay, so I have the sine of B is equal to 0.9122. So when I actually find this, I would sine inverse both sides. These cancel. I'm making myself a note here. And I have B is approximately 65.8 degrees. So 180 minus 65.8. Oh, so I'm sorry. So I have 65.8 right here. That's what that is. And 180 minus 65.8 is what? Can you plug that into a calculator for me? Good. So 180 minus 65.8 is 114.2. So we're going to test these 2 angles. So these are possible angles to be plugged in here. So that's where these 2 came from. So I'm going to test them out now. I have 65.8 plus 43.1. That's less than 180. I also have 114 plus 43.1. That's less than 180. That goes back to right here. It says when you add up the angles, they can add to 360. Or you add up the angles and they add to more than 180. And then one angle if you find it supplement. That's a different story. So we're going to test both of these. If I use both of these, this possible angle is 71.1. This possible angle is 22.7. So using that information now, I'm going to find this missing side, little c. So I'm going to use this trig function, or I'm going to use sine of b over little b equals sine of c over little c. Excuse me. And I'm going to plug that in here. So I'm going to skip ahead here a little bit. That's where I got this. You might want to pause the video and figure that part out. And then when I cross multiply, I get these as two possible answers. So because these two angles worked, and they were both less than 180, this is why there's two solutions, two answers. And last but not least is no solution. So the no solution one, I'm going to start here. It says, solve triangle ABC where angle A is 42 degrees, A is 70, and B is 122. So little b is 122, little a is 70, 42 degrees. So I'm going to set it up. There's the angle and the two sides across. So I have sine 42 over 70 equals sine b over 122. When I cross multiply, I have 70 times sine of b equals 122 times sine 42. I'm going to divide by 70 here on both sides. Those cancel. So then I have sine of b equals 122 times sine 42 over 70 from right here. When I plug this into a calculator, it's approximately 1.17. And so I go back to my chart here, and I say, okay, how many solutions is it? 1, 2, or 0? Here, if the sign is less than 1, it's 1 or 2 solutions. But it's no solutions if the sign of the angle, is greater than 1. Well, in this case, because it's 1.17, it's no solution. So you like these ones because you have no more work to do. Okay, with that being said, you have all of the different homeworks written in here. So maybe go back and try those if you couldn't do them last night for homework. I understand I gave you a hard section for Thursday. But I apologize. But take care, you guys, and do well on your review, and I'll see you next week. Bye.